Well, most of you know, I think anyways, that I create custom malas for people. And in the process of creating these pieces that are very personalized, we go through a series of questions, and they're quite intimate questions. And something that I notice is coming up a lot for people lately is experience of doubt. And so today we're just going to talk a little bit about doubt, because doubt has inspired the mantra that we're going to use this evening. And the mantra that we're going to use this evening is very simple, and it's just may I be hopeful. And we will expand that outward into may you be hopeful and may all beings be hopeful. Hi guys. So if you have never joined me before, generally what we do is I give a little brief on the intention behind the mantra, and then we go into mantra meditation followed by a little prayer at the end. And the first time we repeat the mantra, we say it directed inwardly to ourselves. We'll be saying, may I be hopeful. And the first round, we expand the circle outwardly to may you be hopeful. And in the process, when we're doing this, we want to think of a neutralized person in our life. And what that means is we want to think about somebody who we don't have a deep, intimate relationship with. This is somebody who maybe delivers our mail or we see at the grocery store. And the reason for choosing this person is because when we start to wish a prayer for somebody else, we want to try to keep the emotions in a very neutralized space. The practice of Buddhism and the study of Buddhism really is inspired by the Buddha's desire to understand why we had suffering. And we have suffering, he discovered, because we have attachment. And attachment leads to all aspects of suffering in his personal discovery. And so when we are wishing a prayer outwardly to somebody else, we want to remove our level of attachment so that we are not trying to influence this person. It can just come from a pure space in our heart. So as we move into the may you be hopeful, I'll initiate it at the beginning to indicate for you to think about a neutralized person. And if you have time and that person can scan through your mind now, that's perfectly fine too. And then the third round that we do, we offer the mantra prayer outwardly to all beings. So may all beings be hopeful. And when we do this, we start a little bit closer to home, so maybe other people in our home or people that live on our street or in our apartment building. And then we naturally just let it expand outwardly, maybe to the area of our town, the whole town, maybe a different town within our province, and then so on and so forth, expanding as far as your heart wishes to travel. So that will be the style that we will be using this evening. And while we're doing the mantra, I tend to indicate an inhale, and this is just because we're doing it as a group, and so to keep the power of our prayer and mantra in unison, we use the indication of breath. And you will notice that I start to repeat the mantra, and then slowly I'll start to drop some words off. And the only reason for doing that is because it just gives you the opportunity to repeat it on your own, to get used to that japa style, which means repeating it internally with your mind. Or, I mean, if you're sitting alone or for whatever reason you want to say it out loud, you absolutely can as well. So those are the options for when you are doing the mantra. You can say it out loud or you can say it internally. And that's the style that we'll use tonight. And so when you hear me drop off, just know, keep going. I'll always indicate the inhale, and that will let you know kind of where everyone else is in the group. And so we're going to just talk a little bit about what inspired the mantra, which is may I be hopeful. And hope is something that we all need. If we don't have hope, then we are at risk of not surviving. Hope is that glimmer of light. It's that vibration that is deeply connected with faith. And we need that in order to thrive and survive. And it's not uncommon for any of us at any point in time to experience something like doubt. And doubt is one of the 5 hindrances. In Buddhism, that's how they approach it. It's one of the 5 hindrances, which means it's one of those things that can cause us suffering. And part of the reason that is that doubt doesn't exist in the present moment. It's about attachment to most likely the future. And when we have expectations of how we our life to go, or what we think certain people are supposed to mean, or certain jobs, what value they're supposed to add to our lives, when those things start to seem a little bit unstable, and we realize there's a possibility that our expectation might not be fulfilled from those things, then doubt can start to creep in. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you to not be doubtful and quickly change your mind and get out of that space. I actually find it's very helpful just to notice when we're experiencing doubt. What does it feel like in your body? How does it come up? And for some of you, you may notice that it comes up as actually your brain starts to go over and over and over and over certain ways of problem solving, or anticipating a problem that might be coming that hasn't actually happened yet. And I think we've all done this at some point, and we're just trying to get ahead of the curve. Oh, can't hear you on Facebook. Oh, shoot. Well, it's been very difficult on the Facebook today. I'm so sorry. Amber, can you hear me? I see that you're there. Okay. I'm so sorry, everyone. I don't know what was happening with Facebook. Like I say, I tried to log on with 2 different computers and 4 different browsers, and it just was not working. I'm wondering if they have something going on in their back office I don't know computer terminology. Anyways, so doubt. When doubt comes up, it's really valuable if we can just acknowledge it. And that might just look as simple as saying, oh, I'm really doubtful that this job is going to work out. Oh, I'm really doubtful about my relationship right now. I'm really doubtful about where I'm going to live, or if this is, if my dream is going to become a reality. I'm really doubtful about whether I'll ever lose this weight. I'm really doubtful about my abilities as a parent. Whatever it looks like, it doesn't really matter. But as soon as we acknowledge it, there's a sense of yielding that can happen. And we just kind of give way for doubt to be there. Because a lot of the time, we don't want to feel things like that, because the vibe is really low. It's a heavy vibrational space to occupy. And I personally don't believe that there's a lot of talk around, stay in the positive and stay in high vibes. But in order to understand high vibration, you need to low vibration. And doubt is a very good teacher, because when you realize that you're in doubt, you have the opportunity to ask yourself, what is my faith like right now? What do I actually believe in? What do I have hope in? And if faith is something that you haven't questioned or looked at before, then when you experience doubt, it might be a wonderful time just to start asking those questions. What do I believe in? If I am not in control, if I have to yield, if I have to let go of the reins in this aspect of my life because I can't force it, it's out of my control, or I can't make somebody else feel a certain way, and I'm doubtful that they're going to feel the way I want them to feel, what are we going to look to that's going to give us hope if it's outside of us, outside of our own control? So when we experience doubt, acknowledging it is a really big part of it. And the other part is just to see if you can sit with it. And rather than trying to come up with solutions, or, we try to come up with various solutions because the bottom's going to drop and we want to be ready for when that bottom drops, because it's scary as heck when the bottom drops and we're not prepared. Well, prepared or not, it's probably going to be scary because it's new and it's uncertain and it's not at all what we expected. So when doubt comes up, it's a really good time to say, okay, I feel really doubtful right now. Sit with it, if possible. And then let yourself question, what is my faith like? Because faith and hope are very deeply intertwined. And if we don't have hope, it's challenging to be inspired to go on. And I'm not talking about faith in terms of religion. It doesn't have to be interwoven like that. There's a lot of people that I know in my life that have, scar tissue and, collateral damage from being exposed to restrictions and limitations and judgments from particular religions when they were children that they're still trying to overcome. And when I say faith, I'm not talking about a particular religion. It's just a question to ask yourself, what is my faith like? What does that word mean? What do I believe? Do I believe in anything that's outside of myself? Do I believe that there is a bigger plan? Do I believe that things happen for a reason? How can we, graciously yield to the fact that we're sitting in tremendous doubt and uncertainty, which probably has some fear wrapped in there too, and try to find some peace, because doubt can really disturb our sense of peace. And as much as many of us say we want it, we hold on for dear life to lots of different attachments, which gives us the quite opposite of peace. So may I be hopeful is something that we are going to wish for ourselves, and as well for people that we know and care for, and also all beings, because life without hope is very heavy and it's very gloomy. And I think that together, we can sit and really direct our energy towards what hope feels like, and hopefully it will make a difference. So if you are seated or lying down, just see if you can get into a still position at this time. And if you have to keep moving about the world, then just move about the world. Keep your eyes open. And if you feel compelled to repeat the mantra, absolutely repeat the mantra. So close your eyes, coming to a position that's comfortable. And your hands might be facing upward on your lap or downward on your lap. You might like them touching the earth, maybe resting upon your stomach. And just take a breath. Any way the air goes in and anywhere the air comes out, just allow it. And see if you can let the body get heavy in the areas that are touching the ground. Feel that support beneath you. Feel how stable and steady it is. And then just bring your attention to your breathing. Nothing forced, you're just noticing it, maybe for the first time today. Noticing if the breath is slow or fast. Noticing if the breath feels labored or easy. Noticing if the breath is deep or shallow. And as you can continue to breathe, hold a little bit of attention on the breath, but also shift your attention inward towards your heart. See if you can feel the speed at which your heart is beating. If you breathe a little bit slower, notice if there's any change in the speed of your heart. And just opening your ears to the sounds that surround you. There's no right or wrong sound. Sometimes when we think of meditation, we think it has to be the perfect environment, peaceful, still, quiet. Sound is one of the best tools you can use to hold you in the present moment. feeling your heartbeat, noticing your breath, and hearing the sounds that surround you. If you're experiencing doubt in your life now, or maybe in recent past, you're familiar with that heavy feeling, breathe into that heavy feeling, that space of uncertainty and lack of control. That huge space of, I don't know. And if doubt is something that has passed, see if you can remember what started to give you hope. Keep noticing your breath. And if doubt is something that you're just say, I'm doubtful. I'm experiencing doubt. And keep breathing. We open our hearts to the counsels of light that surround us, to the spirits that guide us and the angels that watch over us. Please hear our prayer. Take a big inhale breath. Exhale out the mouth. And let's begin. Inhale. May I be hopeful. 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 Inhale. Inhale. May I be hopeful. Inhale. 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 May I be hopeful. Inhale. 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 May I be hopeful. Inhale. May I be hopeful. Inhale. 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 May I be hopeful. Inhale. Take a big inhale breath. Exhale out the mouth. But keeping the eyes closed, we'll expand the circle outward to may you be hopeful. And this is the time to think about a person that you have in your life, but you don't know very many things about them. So again, someone you see at the grocery store or perhaps buy coffee from. And you just want to hold the face of this person in your mind as we begin, just to keep your emotions neutral. And as your heart naturally expands and the faces or vibrations of people you care for start to surface, feel free to offer this prayer outwardly to them. Just refrain from offering it directly to anyone whom you have physical intimacy with. The Buddha believes there's just too much attachment there, and that they will naturally receive blessing just by you cultivating these feelings within. Come back to your breathing. Always using the breath, sound, or tuning into the feelings in your body to bring you back into the present moment. Let's begin. Take an inhale. May you be hopeful. 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 Inhale. 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 May you be hopeful. Inhale. 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 May you be hopeful. Inhale. Inhale. May you be hopeful. Inhale. be hopeful. Inhale. 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 Take a big inhale breath. Exhale out the mouth. Keeping the eyes closed, just continue to breathe. Nothing forced. Just notice how it moves in and out. And this last circle will expand outwardly to all beings. May all beings be hopeful. Start with those who are close to you in your neighborhood, and gently allow your heart to expand outwardly. For some of you, this may reach to the edges of your province or your country, and for others, it may go far beyond the seas. Don't worry if the breath of my timing and yours is not exact. Just breathe and continue to repeat. And if you notice your mind wandering, no judgment, just notice and direct your attention back to the mantra. Take an inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Let's begin. Inhale. May all beings be hopeful. 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 Inhale. Inhale. May all beings be hopeful. Inhale. May all beings be hopeful. Inhale. 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 May all beings be hopeful. Inhale. 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 beings be hopeful. Inhale. Inhale. Big inhale breath. Exhale out the mouth. And keeping the eyes closed, you can bring your hands together in prayer or wherever is comfortable for you. Dear God, we ask for your guidance in the times when we experience doubt. Doubt comes in its own time for all of us. Please help us to remember that it does not last, and that it is an offering in some way to understand more about faith and hope. And as we move through life experiencing doubt, give us the strength to acknowledge, to speak it out loud, and just to let be, building faith that it will pass, that hope can be restored, and that all things are co-created intentionally for us. Amen. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. I have no idea what the experience was like over there on Facebook. It was challenging at the beginning, and I hope that something worked out. It's one of the things about using these platforms. They are wonderful and available, but also, if something's going on with their system, then there's really nothing that we can do. So again, I'll be here next Wednesday, and maybe things will be a little bit smoother. Maybe they won't. We don't know. But if any of you have any questions or anything comes up for you and you would like support, feel free to reach out. I'm available most days. I'm usually just making malas and, giving thought to just life in general. So I'm always open for conversation. And thanks so much for joining. It's a pleasure to see you guys here. I really appreciate it. It gives me lots of support when I see you. So thank you. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.